Alright, ASTD X just released, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the best / easiest method to AFK gems. This is basically for all of us new players that are struggling on the story maps and trying to get their first 5-star. So if you're struggling on the first story maps and you're trying to get your first 5-star, this video is probably good for you. But before we get into the video, if this does help you out, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 300 subscribers. Without any further ado, let's get to it. So what you're going to need for this AFK is Tiny Task and any decent 4-star, I guess. Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods to AFK, and I'm not going to lie, this game is very stingy with gems. So all these methods are kind of mid in comparison to what you would usually expect. First method is the most basic, but in this game it might actually be viable, and that is the AFK time chamber. You know, every game has one, but this game it might actually be worth it just because every other method I'm going to show you isn't exactly crazy. They're pretty stingy with gems. Alright, so this time chamber gives 3 gems for 80 seconds. So if you have premium VIP, you'll get 6, but this is still trash. So the next method I'm going to show you is like slightly better, but it's still nothing crazy. Like I said, this game is very stingy with gems, at least it looks like so far. Alright, so we're in, and the first thing we're gonna do is obviously press start game and put on 2x speed. And this first one, you can either just win or lose, it's up to you. You just want to get through this first, you just want to complete this once. Actually, I'd say win. Make sure you win this, just in case the UI switches around for failing versus winning. So make sure you win the first time you do this, and then after I win this, I'll be back. Alright, we won. So now you want to pull out your tiny task, just press click. This won't matter in the AFK. And what you want to do is you want to start your recording and spam click replay. Keep spamming it for a few seconds. Go up and down just in case. And then obviously you want to press start game, and make sure you already have 2x speed on so you don't have to press it during the AFK. And then what you want to do is, of course, place your unit. Now you're going to place your units in this area so they can hit both sides just in case anything leaks. So I'm going to place my mob, and then you just want to spam press it, spam click placing him, and then do it again. I can't afford it yet, obviously. Just spam click this area, and then what you want to do is press Q so it cancels, and then just spam the upgrade button, which is in this game it's F. So just spam F so you can upgrade your units and you won't have to worry about failing because you're not doing enough damage. And then what you want to do is press Q. Okay, don't press Q, that changes the priority. What you want to do is click off the unit, and then just go ahead and end the AFK. Now with this AFK, you want to put it in 5x speed. Obviously have continuous playback on, but you want to put it in 5x speed so it's just continuously doing it fast. So it kind of works almost like GS autoclicker, if you know what that is. It's just placing them over and over fast and restarting the map fast. And one thing I would recommend if you're gonna AFK and like save your file or just keep it open, remember where you stand at, and don't change your camera angle when you first come in, so you can just come in and start your macro without having to remake it every time you get off and on. And to remember where you stand at, this map makes it especially easy. Just remember what square you stand at. I just remember the camera angle and then stand in this square. But this game is actually pretty difficult, I'd say, in comparison to most games' first story maps. So I would say make sure you have your upgrades going. Also, I forgot to mention, obviously, you should have skip wave on. And that's a good example of why you should place right here. The boss just got right past us, but because we placed right here, they're going to come over here and get hit. Like I said, this game is very stingy, so you're not going to get a lot of gems. It's only 10 gems for this. So 10 gems every basically 5 minutes. It's basically the same thing as sitting in the time chamber, if not worse. But like I said, this game really isn't great for this. I'll show you guys the macro actually working. You can see it's spamming replay, spamming start game. And when we get money, of course it's going to place. Like I said, make sure you have 2x speed on already so you don't have to press that in the macro, because then obviously it'll turn it off and turn it on. So make sure you beat it the first time with 2x speed on. Now the one problem you may run into is that, as you can see, it's upgrading mob instead of spam placing, but eventually that's not going to be a problem. If you're worried about the units being upgraded instead of the units being placed, then I just say spam place more units so you don't have to worry about that. And place as many units and then worry about upgrading if you're worried about any units slipping past because it focused one unit. And if you do, you could always just fully tiny task it instead of doing the fast method with the 5x. If you're going to do that method, I'd just make sure you spam click everything and make sure you have a little bit of a delay before you end the AFK and start the AFK. But as you can see, this method is working, so I'm going to go on to the last method to show you guys. Alright, so the next method is AFKing infinite. Now, this game, to my knowledge, has no damage task, so this really isn't anything crazy. What you want to do is obviously stand in an optimal spot. I guess for this map, you might want to stand back here so you can get some money. But what you want to do is put on your 2x speed, and I'd say just fail because you're going to fail anyway. So put on 2x speed, then fail, and we'll be right back. All right, now that we lost, you can go ahead and open tiny task. And then obviously this is pretty much the same as the story mode method, but it does vary a little bit. So what you want to do is obviously spam replay. Keep spamming for a little while, up and down just in case. Then obviously spam start game. Now for this method, you want to spam all your units and then upgrade them. Now I'm not gonna lie, like I said, every method in this game is kind of trash so far, at least for now. There's no damage task for this, so it's really not that good. I'd only recommend doing this if you can make it to like a really high wave because you have good units, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this video. I made it to wave 30 with this lineup, and that only gave me like 27 gems. Now obviously from infinite you can get the void loot and all that, but for gems it's not exactly the greatest, to be honest. Like I said, if you have a good team you can make it to a high wave, then maybe it's worth it, but there's no damage task, and it only gives you like 27 gems for making it to wave 30. It's every 10 waves. The AFK, just want to spam place Itadori. Really, you don't even need to wait till you have money. You know what you're doing. Just spam place the units. I'll spam place Itadori's right here, and then I'll spam mobs right here, I guess. If you have a hill unit, you might want to stand in a place where you can actually place it. You can't place Yuri right here, so I guess I'll just spam place right here. And then you want to click off, but not click into a spot that would jeopardize your AFK. So don't click where like replay or any of that would be at. And then just want to go spam F on all these. I kind of messed it up a little bit by placing mob in a spot where he'd get blocked by the upgrade button, but you just want to go spam F over all these, click off if you did the same thing I did. Yeah, don't place anything where this is at. Don't place anything where the upgrade UI is at. But if you did that by like me, I guess you just click off and then spam F again. And then obviously if you have units up here, spam F again just in case. And then you can really just end the AFK. It's that simple. It's that simple, but like I said, this method really isn't that great. This game doesn't really have any great methods for gem farming so far, at least to my knowledge. Like I said, 10 waves, you get 6 gems, and then at wave 20, you get like 17, I think, so it goes up by 11. Then I'm pretty sure it's literally just 27 for 30 waves. There might be a better method out there, maybe like if you do it on hard mode, but this team can't do anything on hard mode, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm assuming a lot of you guys' teams can't, at least this early into the game. But I guess some gems are better than no gems. Stand right here, spam place, spam upgrade, and put on 5x speed like it is for story mode, and you'll be fine. You don't have to wait till the end. Alright guys, that's gonna be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If that helped you out, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Pretty easy AFK methods. Just spam play, spam upgrade, spam replay, spam try. Pretty much the same stuff you're used to, but this game is very stingy with gems. There is no damage task to my knowledge, so it's kind of gonna be a struggle to get some gems to get some 5 stars. But if this video did help you guys out, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm on the road to 300 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.